We have to be aware that every single student demands a particular attention to their learning. And that may mean using different approaches and different strategies now than we used last year or 5 years or 10 years ago.
There are new techniques, new strategies, evidence-based, for how to reach students, especially those who are less well academically prepared, that we're incorporating into our classrooms.
The demographics of the world is changing, the demographics of Ohio is changing, and we need to evolve our teaching style to do that.
150 years ago, we were still in the industrial age. Everyone was on the same page. Today, we're moving toward personalization and anywhere and anytime access. And so we are creating a world of entrepreneurs and individualized paths in ways that we were not imagining 150 years ago. When I was a child, one of the early lessons that I learned from my mom and dad was around the journey and the process of the learning experience. And my mom honed in on me over and over again that this is a lifelong journey to be able to continue to build upon the knowledge that you've gained. I'm also lucky enough to be born at a time and generation where I've had technology and computers as a part of my upbringing. A wonderful thing about working at Ohio State is that we're always striving for continual improvement of everything that we do. We work very hard to understand how do we contribute to the best practices of education.
The University Institute for Teaching and Learning was established in 2016 really as the primary unit on campus to support all who teach at the university. And our primary goal is to enhance teaching and enrich teaching for student success. We established a number of programs. Perhaps our most notable one is the university's Teaching Support Program, which is a 3-part program for all faculty, part-time and full-time, to enrich their teaching.
We were asked to do a couple of things, and one of the first things was to evaluate or reflect on our teaching through a survey. So we can think about how are we teaching and how are we measuring our effectiveness. And then the second part to that is we were asked to read a book on teaching. So reading that book made me really think about how students learn.
Our goal there really for that was to have faculty not only learn more about the art of teaching and the science of teaching, but also to take the time to reflect on their current practices and how this new understanding might positively impact their classroom.
And this exercise in particular has forced me to think, well, what's making me a good teacher and how can I become a better teacher?
Teaching in the 21st century needs to be nimble, it needs to be dynamic, and it needs to engage all parts of our students and our faculty.
Online education provides faculty an opportunity to rethink their courses. The way that we communicate in an online space requires you to think about the student experience in new and different ways.
Not only could I be reaching my students here in Columbus, but I could be reaching students on the regional campuses, and I could be delivering content to students that might be away from Ohio doing internships or other types of experiences.
When I was first asked to teach online over 4 years ago, I said absolutely not, that doesn't work, I'm not having any part of that. I love being in the classroom. Until I did it. Fell in love with the whole format, the whole platform. And what I discovered is lots of people, lots of students like the online platform.
I'm a computer guy for the most part. I'd say it makes online classes easier, definitely, and then it makes doing my homework so much easier. Frees up so much time. You can just pull out your laptop or phone and answer quick. We'll do a little quiz or something. I definitely like the flexibility. That way I can study whatever I want.
I like to learn by myself. I just feel like I can go at my own pace. I don't have to have anyone rush me, or I don't have to feel like it's a competition, or even feel discouraged that other people get it and I don't because it takes me a while or so. Like, especially with math. I don't like math whatsoever. Some professors will put videos online so I can like slow them down instead of actually being in the classroom and telling my teacher, oh, can you go over that one more time? Like it kind of didn't get that.
We're finding faculty are really enjoying teaching the online space because once the course is set up, during the term, they're really focused in on the relationship with their students.
I find in my online delivered classes, because I can start a discussion and invite students to be posting contributions, and if I can leave that open over some period of time, students can very intentionally come back into those conversations and build on what others are saying. So I get really rich, engaged conversations.
I taught a course on human trafficking to 30,200 people from 182 countries. The course ran for 4 weeks, 24 hours a day. It was amazing, and it really led to a lot of vigorous discussions, changing of viewpoints, and students loved the approach. This is how they live their lives.
And what we're finding across the research is that there is no difference in the ability of students to learn those outcomes, whether it's in person or online.
It's exactly the same, whether it's online or not. The professors put so much content into the online videos that it almost feels like you're there. I mean, yeah, you're not getting the actual, feeling of everyone around you in the classroom and the chalkboard and everything, but the information is exactly the same, if not more detailed.
I hope that our embracing of technology and using technology to extend our teaching doesn't come at the expense of our physical campus and physical home. But I'm not a perfect fortune teller, so I'm not sure where we'll be down the road.
We will continue to expand our online education. That's just the way of the times we're living in right now. But there will always be a set of students who want that face-to-face, personal, in-class instruction. I do believe we're going to always have that.
In-person learning is not going to go away. There are going to be many ways that we can educate learners going into the future. Online education will continue to evolve, and we're going to be moving to the next phase of augmented reality, virtual reality. And we often talk about education beyond the classroom walls. This will truly create a global learning space.
Technology is certainly part of the answer, but those technologies always have to be situated in a clear understanding of what our objectives are and what our students' needs and interests are.
We might be educating in a single course a student that might be 18, and in the same course has a student that's 65. They have different learning styles, they have different world experiences. We need to have curricula that can meet those needs of both of those people.
And if we're attentive to those audiences and the changes in those students on a regular basis, we're actually going to create more dynamic and more successful opportunities for students.
And it isn't just about chasing the latest new whiz-bang kind of thing. It's always about evidence-based practices that really are effective in the classroom, how to help our students learn.
Students now are incredibly bright and want to learn through a number of different ways. It's our role as educators to reach our students the best way that we can.
I teach exclusively online. It is just the best thing that I've been afforded to do. It is an excellent format for teaching students.
And the promise of online education and the future of all education is an opportunity to engage with materials in new and interesting ways that allow that emotional connection, that allow that physical connection to your interest areas, and be able to build upon that to get to the career goals or the life goals or the learning goals that you have as a person.